Hello everyone, and welcome back to her Pet and TV channel. I want to take a moment to say a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you who has watched, liked, shared, and commented on our previous videos. Your support means so much. It's because of you that we keep creating inspiring content that touches hearts and strengthens faith. If you are new here, we're so glad you stopped by. This channel is all about sharing stories that encourage, uplift, and remind you that God is always working, even in the silence. Please don't forget to like this video, drop a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Together, let's keep growing, learning, and trusting God's timing, one story at a time. Thank you again, and God bless you always. Mom. Do you ever feel like God is just silent? Like you pour your heart out in prayer. You fast, you cry, you believe. But heaven just stays quiet? Because that's how I feel. I've prayed for years, for a job, for some kind of breakthrough. I've gone to vigils, I've done everything they say I should do. But still, nothing. And it's starting to feel like maybe I'm not seen. Maybe God has favorites, and I'm just not one of them. Oh, Lisa. You're not the first to feel that way, and you certainly won't be the last. Even David, a man after God's heart, cried out in the Psalms, "How long, Lord? Will you forget me forever?" You see, unanswered prayers don't mean God is absent. Sometimes, He's just working in ways we can't yet see. Sometimes, He's protecting us from things we don't understand. And sometimes, Lisa, He's building something in us that takes time, character, patience, depth. I know the silence is hard, but silence is not abandonment. But Mom, it's been so long. I'm not even asking for riches or fame. Just a job I can survive on, just a partner who truly fears God. And every time I think something is about to break through, it just slips away. Meanwhile, I watch others get what I've prayed for without even asking. It hurts. It feels personal. Like God is watching me suffer and saying, "Not yet." And I don't know if I have the strength to keep waiting. Lisa, listen to me, my child. Waiting on God is one of the hardest things we'll ever have to do, but it's also one of the most powerful acts of faith. You don't need strength to wait, you need trust. Trust that your Father sees you. That He knows your tears, even the ones you don't cry out loud. I know it feels unfair. But do you know what I've learned in my years of walking with Him? God never wastes our waiting. He uses it. He stretches our faith. He teaches us to depend on Him, not on outcomes. And when the answer finally comes, it's always better, deeper, and more meaningful than what we originally asked for. But Mom, what if I'm waiting for something that's not even part of God's plan for me? What if I've built my whole hope around something He never intended to give me? What if this dream of mine, this job, this future husband, what if they're not mine to have? Then may God give you the grace to surrender them. Because true peace comes not from getting what we want, but from letting go of what we think we need and trusting God to give us what is best. Even Jesus, in the garden, prayed, "Father, take this cup from me." But then He said, "Not my will, but yours." That's the heart God honors, a heart that's honest, but still surrendered. I know it's not easy. I've had dreams die too, Lisa. But I've also watched God resurrect better dreams in their place. And He will do the same for you. I believe that with every breath I have left. Mom. How do you keep believing even when your body is weak, when healing hasn't come, when life didn't turn out like you thought it would? Because I've tasted His faithfulness, even in my suffering. Because I've learned that even when God doesn't change my situation, He changes me. I don't serve Him for the blessings. I serve Him because I've seen who He is. And Lisa, I want you to know, He has not forgotten you. He's preparing something. You may not see it now, but one day, you'll look back and say, "Ah, this is why I had to wait." And you'll thank Him for every delay. Just don't give up now. Not when you're this close. Thank you, Mom. I don't know what lies ahead, but if God is with me in the waiting, maybe that's enough for now. It is enough, my child. It always has been. Naomi, I honestly don't know how you stay so calm and content. Because me? I'm at my wit's end. I've prayed, fasted, served, done all the right things, and still, no answer. No job. No breakthrough. No direction. It feels like heaven is just watching me break slowly. I've been there, Lisa. I've stared at the ceiling night after night, crying, asking God if I was invisible. I know what it's like to be tired of being strong all the time. But you know what I've also discovered? God is closest when we feel most forgotten. It just doesn't always feel like it in the moment. But Naomi, you seem so peaceful now. You look like someone whose prayers were answered. But me? I feel stuck in a waiting room with no clue when, or if, my name will ever be called. Oh Lisa. I didn't always have peace. I was bitter. Angry. Do you remember when I lost my job? I thought God had betrayed me. Then the heartbreak came. The betrayal. The loneliness. I questioned everything. But in that quiet, painful season, God started peeling away the lies I believed. He began rebuilding me, from the inside out. But how did you wait, Naomi? How did you keep trusting when everything was falling apart? Naomi, I stopped trying to rush God. I stopped measuring His love by what He gave me and started trusting in who He is. I realized waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. While I was begging for a job, God was building my confidence. While I was crying over a man who left, God was protecting me for the one who would stay. And when the answers came, they were nothing like I expected, but exactly what I needed. So you're saying this ache I feel, this silence, is not because God is ignoring me? No. It's not silence, it's strategy. Think about it, Lisa, when a teacher is silent during a test, it doesn't mean they've left the room. It means they're letting you apply what you've already been taught. God hasn't abandoned you. He's refining you. He's allowing you to develop roots so that when your breakthrough comes, you won't fall apart trying to hold it up. But it's so hard not knowing when it will happen. Or if it even will. I know. The unknown is painful. But would you rather have something now that breaks you later, or wait a little longer for something that blesses you forever? God sees the full picture. And Lisa, you are not forgotten. I see how faithful you are. I see how hard you try. And if I can come out of my pit and still see God's goodness, I know you will too. Just hold on a little longer. Not because of how strong you are, but because of how faithful He is. Naomi, thank you. I didn't realize how much I needed to hear that. It's easy to encourage others, but when it's your own storm, you forget who God really is. That's why we need each other. We remind each other of the truth when feelings try to drown it out. You're not alone, Lisa. And this waiting? It's not a waste. It's a setup. A setup for what? For something far greater than what you prayed for. Trust me, when God finally moves, it'll be so evident you'll say, "Now I understand why He made me wait."
Well, if it isn't Lisa the genius. Wow, this can't be real. You were like the brightest star in school, top of the class every term. Always the teacher's favorite, the one with the bright future. It's been, what, almost 10 years.
Sandra. Yes, it's really me. Wow, it's been a while. You look good. Life seems to be treating you well.
Let's just say, God has been good. 2 businesses, 2 cars, my own house. Not bad for someone who barely passed economics, right? You remember, I used to struggle so much with assignments while you were like a walking encyclopedia.
I remember. But we all have different journeys, Sandra. Life doesn't always unfold the way we expect.
Oh come on, Lisa, we all have different journeys. You were destined for greatness. Everyone said you'd be the first to own a company, fly abroad, write books, become somebody big. But look at you, no offense, but you look tired. Are you even working? Married? Doing anything solid?
I'm in between seasons right now. Still praying and trusting God to open the right doors.
Still praying. Lisa, are you still in that mode? I used to be like that too, waiting for God to show up. But let's be honest, how long are you going to wait for something that may never come? Sometimes, you just have to make things happen for yourself. Honestly, it's surprising. You, of all people, shouldn't be stuck. It almost feels like a waste. All that brilliance, and for what?
Sandra, I may not look like much right now, but I haven't given up. Not on myself. And not on God. Yes, I had plans. Big ones. And I thought by now I'd be living them. But sometimes, life takes you through seasons you didn't expect. Seasons that break you, humble you, and teach you things success never could. I may not have everything yet, but I still have faith.
Faith doesn't pay bills. I respect your optimism, really, but you should probably come back to reality. People are moving, Lisa. Everyone from school has gone ahead. You were leading the race, but now it looks like you're not even in the race anymore. And it's just shocking. I didn't expect this from someone like you.
And I didn't expect this from someone like you. You may have climbed higher, Sandra, but success isn't just about titles and things. It's also about kindness, humility, and knowing how to lift others, not tear them down. I celebrate your progress, truly. But mocking someone else's journey doesn't make yours more meaningful. I may be in a valley now, but I'm not going to stay here forever. Because I know the God I serve. He's not finished with me. This waiting season? It's not defeat, it's preparation. And when my time comes, I'll rise, not just with success, but with character.
Well, I hope your faith pays off one day. Life's a tough world out here, Lisa, but good luck. I guess.
Thanks, Sandra. And I hope when you look in the mirror, you'll find that success isn't only what you wear or what you drive. It's also how you treat people who are still in their process. Goodbye.
Sister Evelyn, good afternoon, and Lisa too. It's always a joy to see the two of you together. How are you today, my dear?
Good afternoon, Pastor. We're doing well, by God's grace. Although, I must admit I brought Lisa to speak with you today. She's been going through quite a lot emotionally, and no matter how I try to talk to her, she just keeps worrying too much. She's carrying a heavy burden, and I'm afraid it's beginning to weigh down her faith. Good afternoon, sir. It's true, Pastor. I've just been feeling overwhelmed. I know what the word says. I know I should trust God, but sometimes, it just feels like I'm stuck. Like I'm praying and doing all I can, but nothing is changing. And I'm trying not to lose heart, but it's hard, sir. It really is.
Lisa, thank you for your honesty. First of all, I want you to know, there's no shame in feeling the weight of waiting. You're not less spiritual because you're tired. Even strong people get weary, especially when their expectations seem delayed. But can I remind you of something today? Waiting is not punishment. Sometimes, it is God's way of protecting us from premature exposure to blessings we're not yet prepared for.
That's what my mom keeps saying. That God is working in the background. But Pastor, how long do I keep believing when it feels like He's not listening? It's been months. Years even. People who barely put in half the effort seem to be flying ahead. And I'm still here, praying, fasting, hoping, and waiting.
Lisa, I understand. Believe me, I've been in that place too. I remember a time in my life when all I had were promises and tears. I watched friends buy houses, start ministries, grow families, and I was still in a one-room apartment, wondering if I heard God correctly. But now I look back, and I thank God for every delay, because those years built in me a kind of faith that success never could. They humbled me, they trained me, they made me trust God, not just for what He can give, but for who He is.
That's what I keep trying to help her understand, Pastor. I tell her that God hasn't forsaken her. That He's just writing her story slowly and beautifully. But the world we live in now is so fast, so noisy. She keeps comparing herself to others, and I fear it's robbing her peace.
You're absolutely right, Mama Evelyn. Lisa, comparison is a thief of joy. It will make you despise your own journey because you're measuring it against someone else's highlight reel. But God is not late. He's precise. His timing is tied to His purpose for your life, and let me assure you, what you're going through is not without meaning. This season of waiting is a chapter, not your conclusion.
Thank you, Pastor. I guess sometimes, I just need to hear it from someone else. It's easy to encourage others, but when it's you in the storm, you forget what you know.
That's why God gives us community. We're not meant to walk alone. And don't forget, Lisa, even delay can be divine. Sometimes God withholds not to punish us, but to prepare us. He loves you too much to let you settle for something that's beneath the fullness of His will for your life.
Pastor. Thank you. Thank you for seeing me, for not judging me. For reminding me that I'm still in God's hands. I may not know when, but I want to keep trusting Him. Even if it's hard. I want to hold on. Thank you, Pastor. God bless you richly. I believe today's talk was part of her healing. Yes. It really was. God bless you, sir.
Anytime, my dear. And remember, you're not behind. You're just being built, and when God is done, even those who mocked your delay will witness your rising. Now go in peace and keep walking in faith.
Lord, I've been chasing answers and running from silence. I've begged, complained, doubted, even blamed you. But tonight, I don't want anything from you. I just want you. I finally understand that peace isn't found in a job or a relationship or a title, it's found in your presence. And if all I have in this season is you, then I am rich. If I have to wait longer, then teach me to wait well. If the answer is not yet, then give me the strength to still worship. I surrender my timeline, my expectations, even my dreams. I let go, Lord. And I trust that what you have for me is worth the wait. not just because it will bless me, but because it will glorify you. I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord. I don't know when things will change. But now, I'm no longer anxious. Because I know who holds my future. And that's enough. I may still be waiting. But I'm no longer wasting. I am living, in peace and on purpose. Greetings everyone. A month ago, I was at my lowest. I had no idea God was preparing something this beautiful. Not just the job, but the peace, the strength, and the healing. Now I understand, it wasn't a delay, it was divine design. I always knew His time would be perfect. I prayed not just for a job, but for your soul to be restored. Now I see both have been answered. I'm so proud of you, Lisa. You waited when it would have been easier to quit. Your faith inspired mine all over again.
Lisa, this is just the beginning. Now walk boldly in purpose, knowing that the same God who brought you here will sustain you here. You are a testimony of what it means to trust God even when the answer is wait.
When God says wait tells the story of Lisa, a brilliant young woman who found herself stuck in a painful season of waiting. Burdened by unanswered prayers and feelings of abandonment, she wrestled with disappointment, comparison, and fear. But through wise counsel, divine encouragement, and her own personal surrender, Lisa discovered that God's silence is never absence, and His delays are not His denials. In the end, Lisa receives far more than a job. She finds peace, purpose, and a deeper faith in the God who writes stories with perfect timing. Are you in a season of waiting? Don't give up. Don't compare. Don't rush God. The waiting is not wasted. He's preparing you for something far greater than what you prayed for. Trust His heart, even when you can't trace His hand. When the time is right, He will make it happen. Your story is still being written. And the next chapter will be worth the wait. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. But at the end it will speak, and not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it. Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Habakkuk 2 verse 3.